I've looked young my entire life. And as a man, it's been really hard, honestly. And I don't see anybody else really talking about it. Even in my own life, I'm usually gaslit or told it's not a problem. And that just made me even more annoyed because it makes you feel alone. So I want to make this video for anybody else that actually feels like I do and that looks young. Mainly for a man, but I guess women too. I want to show people that they're not alone and that, yeah, you're not wrong. It is hard, regardless of what people tell you. So, I guess to start, here's proof. I'm 24 and I look like I don't know, 18 to 20. It's kind of hard to tell, but the point is, even now, I still look young, but when I was in high school and college, I looked even younger for my age because, relatively, when you look, let's say, 13, when you're like actually 15 or 16, there's a much bigger gap there than when you're like 24 to, people who are 26. From the ages of like 25 to like 35, people can't really tell which age you are. But definitely when I was during like the puberty time, whenever people hit puberty, from that age until now pretty much, it's been hard. And it causes a lot of problems. And like I said in the beginning, it's really annoying because literally every time I've brought it up to anybody or told anybody else about it, they always say the same thing. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You'll like it when you're older. Yeah, but it's hard now. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, maybe when I'm fucking 35 and I look like I'm 25, I'm sure I'll love it then, but it doesn't make it any harder. Maybe it's like the long-term plan where it's like you suffer now and then you get the benefits later, but when you're like 15 and 16, you don't care about that. You can't stay that far ahead. It's still hard, and nobody ever acknowledges that. They act like you're being ungrateful because, to be honest, all the people who you tell who are like older than you, actually, it's like in two camps, right? You either tell older people, like your parents or your aunt or uncle or grandparents, and obviously, every older person, that's all they want is to look young, so they don't care. They just say, I just want to look young too, so stop being ungrateful. You have it, you should be grateful. Because they want to look young, so when you complain about looking too young, they think it's like a slap in their face. Or, the second type of people you'll tell are people your age who don't give a fuck. Maybe your close friends or somebody. Like, I have a twin brother, and obviously, he looks just like I do, so it really helped to have him to relate to, because other than him, nobody else even acknowledged it. And the thing is, people treat you differently. It's definitely, to me, it felt like a form of discrimination. I mean, if you think about the definition of discrimination or prejudice or something, it's like judging people based on how they look, or I guess who they are, because religion can fall into that, but like either race or nationality or religion or even the way people look. Pretty privilege, for example, is a real thing. So when people judge you for the way you look and you can't control that, it's really hard to deal with because it really annoys you when there's nothing you can do and people always look at you that way. And in the beginning I said as a man because I'm not a woman, but the way that the genders work out, I feel like, and I've had women who I've known who look young and it's not really that big of a deal for them. Even my mom was like that, which is why I guess I look like that too. But the thing is, with women, like, they're supposed to look young. Like, all of the downsides that I've experienced from looking young are because I'm a man. For example, as a man, like, in order to get respect or to be treated equally, you need to look like you have power or competence or you look older. That's why a lot of older men go for a younger woman and younger women go for older men, because women want different things in men than men want in women. Men don't really care how old a girl looks. Actually, it's better if they look young. I mean, not too young, you don't want to be like a pedophile, but like, generally, the reason why women go after older men is because they like the competence, the skill, to be able to take charge, be powerful, be strong and big. And obviously, one of the things that comes with looking young is that you're small and weak and you don't really seem that powerful, which means men and women and older people don't really respect you. Like, as you grow older, the older you look, the more people respect you. Like, people just don't treat you the same when you look young. When I look young, especially in high school and beginning of college, like, I mean, when I told people my age, they would literally tell me, I don't believe you. And I would have to show them my driver's license so they believe my age. And just inherently, like, I was already at a disadvantage when I met people because, like, in relation to all my friends around me, I would get treated like a little kid. And when you look young, not only do people think you're weak, so whenever people want to feel big and strong, they'll like pick on you as like the weakest link because they think you'll not do anything about it and that you'll be a pushover, which makes it really hard to defend yourself because obviously one of the reasons why you look young is because your body hasn't developed as much as everybody else yet, which means you're smaller and weaker. It's harder. And when people always pick on you for just because of how you look, it's annoying. And people just don't give you their respect. Like, it's like guilty until proven innocent. They'll look at you like a little kid or like impose personality traits that they think you'll have. And I'll give you a quick rundown of what people usually think of young people who look young. And I know you guys will definitely sympathize with what I'm about to say. Reckless, childish, shy, immature, non-sociable, maybe not competent in any skill, pretty much like a little kid. So when you want to be seen as somebody to be respected or gain respect, I mean, forget about it. You're not gaining that for a long time because you're not going to be seen as like a blank slate where you can make your first impression. People are going to automatically assume, for example, you're shy and you can't talk to people unless you go out of your way and prove by like a large margin that you can do it and that you are like that. In any way, pretty much. Like that you're not competent, you're not skilled at anything, you're childish. So if you do anything, by the way, that's like the opposite side of the coin. If you do anything that makes them think that, they'll never forget it. No matter how many times you do the other thing. No matter how many times you do the right thing. So if you act childish, for example, or act shy for one time, it doesn't matter how many times after that you show that you're sociable or that you're mature. It doesn't matter. You're already that kid, like in their head. You're not going to change their minds. Anytime you do anything to prove them otherwise, they'll rationalize in their head because, already it's hard to change somebody's first impression. There's a reason why that's like a common saying, and it's true. And especially when you look young, the worst part is not only do you not get respect, but you can't even have your own personality. Because if you try to be confident or anything other than the shy, reckless, like childish, non-sociable kid, they'll like beat you down and say, stop trying to act confident. You can't act like that. Or they'll like make fun of you for like trying to dress cooler or trying to act cooler. They'll like make fun of you and like say stop trying to act like somebody you're not, pretty much. And that always happened, especially most of the stuff happened in high school. And these are already some problems you can see that are really annoying. I mean, let alone forget about having a girlfriend. Like I said before about girls wanting older looking guys who are competent. I mean, if you look like a kid in high school, if you look like you're 12 to 13 in high school, you're done for. There's no way they're going to date you. I mean, I literally had times in high school where people would ask me, are you sure you're not supposed to be in the middle school? What the fuck kind of question is that? Because we had like a middle school like close to the high school, so it was like, people would drop the parents would drop the kids off to the middle school and then go to the high school or whichever one they needed to. And they would ask me that. I'm like, what the fuck? Why would I be here? Do you think I made that mistake? Like, all the time. People would just do that. They just make fun of you because they think either it's a joke, which is why I said nobody talks about it. It's like there are certain things that you can be made fun of and there are certain things you can't be made fun of. And for whatever reason, nobody seems to understand how annoying it is to look young. Nobody cares. They act like it's not even a problem. And whenever you talk about it, they like gaslight you and like victim blame you and say like, oh no, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Like, it's not that big of a deal because, for whatever reason, whenever you bring your problems up to other people, not even to like one up them or anything, they just to like have people understand you and like comfort you. They like take offense to that. Like they feel insecure for whatever reason. And they like want to attack it and like one up it. They're like, well, it's not that big of a deal. I have this problem that you don't have, so yeah, stop complaining. Like they just don't hear anything. And that's what's so frustrating about it. Like, it's already frustrating enough having problems. Like, it's already hard enough to have a problem that you can't control, that maybe you're already seen as something. But it's hard enough. It's even harder when nobody even acknowledges it. Like, it's so annoying. That's why I call it like a form of discrimination, because to me, discrimination and prejudice are like when you see somebody, you automatically make assumptions about them, about who they are, without them doing anything. Like the classic stereotype of seeing a black person and thinking they're like a criminal, or seeing an Asian person and thinking they can't drive, or something like that. Like you see them and you make these like snap judgments about them without letting them like show their real personality. And it's not like they're open to be proven wrong. Like their head already forms these judgments about you as it is. So like you're pretty much done for. And it's so fucking annoying because you get no respect at all. Even when you're older, even when you're an actual adult, people who are my age and look older, they get treated like actual men who are like equal to them, like older people. And I'm the same age, and they'll still treat me like a kid. They'll still treat me like I'm 16 or in high school, even though we're the same age, done the same thing. It doesn't matter. It's like really frustrating, and you get no respect. And like I think personally, respect in the way of like being equal to people is like like in terms of skill or competence or anything like that. It's a really big deal, especially for a man, because like if you're not respected, especially like if you can't even control it, it's not like you did something to make them not respect you. Just based on how you look and you don't get respected at all, or if you do, you have to put in so much work. It just seems so unfair and so annoying. And that's why it's so annoying. I want to talk about it because nobody cares. They don't say anything. Like, it takes a long time because it makes you really insecure. Honestly, I was a lot more sociable before like the puberty age, because before then, I was just like everybody else. I was sociable, I didn't care, but after that, I got really quiet and shy because every time I would say anything or be getting attention, it would be in a negative way where people would judge me or make comments about me or say something. And like it changed my entire personality, and it made me really insecure about that kind of thing for a long time. And I have a feeling that most of you are going to feel the same way. I mean, this can be like a universal thing that everybody feels around the world. Especially like men who look young, especially in like those developmental ages. I mean, don't get me wrong, like when you become 30 to 40, your entire life after like 30 probably, you're going to love it. Like the adults that I talked about in the beginning aren't wrong. It's just like to act like it's not hard when you're young is really frustrating. Like you can say like, yeah, it'll be better when you're older, but I get why it's so frustrating now, but they just say like it's not a problem. Like that's it. Nobody does. Nobody says anything about it being a problem, and it's so annoying. I fucking hate it. Honestly, this kind of turned into a little rant, but I think it will really help you guys to feel something about having somebody else empathize with you and know that somebody else has been there and understands what you feel, because that was one of the hardest reasons for me to deal with, because I had nobody there with me other than my brother. I had nobody else who actually understood. Everybody else in our life just gaslit us. And I think at the time, if I had a video like this to explain and to share the same feelings I had, it would make me feel a lot better. So I hope this helps you. See ya.